Memorial. Okay, I'm going to turn off the Ditto Cam and change the zoom on it so that I can turn it back on for the rest of you to watch me. All right, Ditto Cam back on. But the drive-bys, folks, are literally having orgasms over Obama shaking the hand of Raul Castro. And let's go to the audio soundbite to illustrate. Again, this is exactly how this is not news. They want it to be news and do anything to distract anybody from Obamacare. And don't worry, we have not fallen prey to that. In fact, I had it in the stack yesterday, and I didn't have a chance to get to it, but I'm going to today. Colin Powell, the titular head of the Republican Party's come out for socialized medicine. Nationalized, socialized, some people call it single payer. Okay. First up is Chris Cuomo. This is on CNN's New Day today. And they're covering the Nelson Mandela Memorial Service. And they're following Obama as he climbed on the stage before he spoke. And there are other dignitaries, dictators, communists, and others up there on the platform. And Obama greets them all. And as he goes down the rope line, so it's not a rope line, but he's greeting everybody, he runs into Raul Castro, and he shakes his hand. He shakes his hand like he shook everybody else's hand. Now, there are a lot of people trying to say, aha, see, it just proves that Obama is a socialist. We don't need him shaking Raul Castro's hand to know this. We don't need him acting friendly with Raul Castro to know who Obama is. If this was year one, this would be a big deal. If this was the first year when Obama's doing this, big deal. But this is year 5. We're almost starting year 6. We already know this. We already know he admires these guys, envies their power. He's working on that. But you got to hear the drive-bys. You just have to hear the audio verbal orgasms here.
We're walking around and talking to security officials.
Castro, he's shaking hands with Raul Castro.
As Christian points out, President Obama just shook hands with Raul Castro from Cuba. What does that say as a gesture?
It says that this is a moment of reconciliation for Mandela, and President Obama is doing the diplomatic thing. He's not just going to walk by and ignore these people who are there. And they're all in a line. He's kissing now the UN Secretary General, President Zuma.
This is a man, and it is so true, who brought people together in life, and he continues to bring people together in death.
Do you hear this? That was Christian Amanpour. It was Chris Cuomo and the international CNN international correspondent Robin Curnow. And they are literally beside themselves with thrills and excitement. Nelson Mandela bringing fellow communists together. Even in death, Mandela is uniting the communist world. Well, what? I mean, Raul Castro is a communist. My God, there's an American citizen that's been in a Cuban dungeon for 4 months now. This is one reason why people are upset. I mean, there are literally Americans in prison in Cuba, and Obama's got no business shaking the guy's hand. Now, some of you might disagree with me when I say that I don't think Obama really knew who he was. I don't. What I do think is that Obama's not sending a message to anybody here. This is just, he's too focused on himself. When he goes to the rope line, he's asking himself what these people think of him. He's not impressed with any of these people. He doesn't get a thrill shaking Raul Castro's hand. He's hoping Castro gets a thrill shaking his hand. You got to remember that Obama's a narcissist. He does not look at himself as somebody who's got to impress these guys. He is thinking they envy him. He is thinking they all want to be who he is. He is thinking that they are in servitude to him. So he runs into Raul Castro. Raul Castro's what? A dumpy little guy that runs a cheap little island communist nation. Obama's not interested in that. He's got the whole U.S. to transform. So I think people looking at this the wrong way, but the media is just excited. I heard a commentator on Fox, Jemu somebody. Oh, Bill, our two great countries separated by 90 miles of water. That's it, Bill. And there are families who have been disunited because of the 90 miles of water. And what this handshake represents, Bill, is perhaps the first steps in these families being united across the 90 miles of water. I mean, the media is beside themselves with thrills and excitement. Can you imagine if Fidel had been there? Folks, if it had been Fidel and not Raul, I mean, I don't know that these people would have been able to keep their clothes on the media. I mean, it would have been, I wish it would have been Fidel. But it was just his stand-in. It was just Raul. Okay, so that's Chris Cuomo. Were you able to understand what Christiane Amanpour was saying? I mean, she was literally, I haven't heard her this excited since we lost the Iraq War. In her mind. Well, I'm going to listen to this again. It says this moment of reconciliation for Mandela and Obama, the diplomatic thing. We gotta, I just put this out there again, and then we'll follow it up with John King, who's warning everybody that there are going to be people like me try to make a big deal out of this.
Walking around and talking to security officials.
Castro, he's shaking hands with Raul Castro.
As Christiane points out, President Obama just shook hands with Raul Castro from Cuba. What does that say as a gesture?
It says that this is a moment of reconciliation for Mandela, and President Obama is doing the diplomatic thing. He's not just going to walk by and ignore these people who are there, and they're all in a line. He's kissing now the UN Secretary General, President Zuma.
This is a man, and it is so true, who brought people together in life, and he continues to bring people together in death.
Christiane Amanpour said, it says that this is a moment of reconciliation for Mandela. How in the hell is that possible? Mandela is dead. Obama is shaking the hand of Raul Castro. How is that a moment of reconciliation for Mandela? Oh, Mandela in death is uniting Obama and a fellow communist in public, and this is progress? You know, it's one thing for Obama to do this, and I'm not making excuses for him. I think when Obama just gets up there on the stage, starts shaking everybody's hand, remember, folks, he's taking selfies. He's thinking about himself. He's looking at this old guy, Raul, and he's not thinking, should I shake this guy's hand or not? How's it going to look? He's looking at it. Everybody wants to shake my hand. Everybody wants to be me. I'm the big dog here. They're the ones that are going to get all the accolades having met me back in their homes. It is insulting, yeah, but I don't think that he doesn't care. Folks, this is his stage. I mean, this whole week is about Barack Obama. You understand? That's really what this all means. That's what the soap opera script is. It's not the death of Mandela anymore. This is about Barack Obama assuming Mandela's place as a great whatever on the world stage. That's what the soap opera is. The whole week here is about Obama. It's not about Mandela anymore. Here's John King. Now, this is also same show, CNN. John King anticipating that some jerk out there might dare criticize Obama for doing this.
This is a moment of reconciliation. It's a moment of tribute to a great man, and it was not a time to make a political statement, so you shake hands out of respect for the moment and move on. Will President Obama get some criticism for that brief handshake and that very, very brief greeting or conversation? Yes, he will. It comes with the territory. Somebody will decide that was a horrible thing. I think the president was showing respect for the moment.
So you see, if you were on the verge of being a jerk and being critical of Obama, you better not. You better pull it back right now because he was just caught up in the moment. He had to be polite. It doesn't mean anything. It comes with the territory. The president was simply showing respect for the moment. No, he wasn't. He was receiving in his mind the accolades of the moment. Now we go back to Christiane Amanpour. Some gospel singer was bringing down the house. That's the next thing that happened here in the memorial. And while the gospel singer was bringing down the house, Cristiano Amanpour comes back to describe the moment when Obama shook Raul Castro's hand as joy and described the whole service as just a warm-up act for Obama. Listen.
And President Obama couldn't be getting a better warm-up act.
I know.
Look at this, the whole crowd.
American gospel singer Kurt Franklin, who just brought this stadium to its feet. The South African crowd dominantly was just going crazy to the stylings of Kurt Franklin.
Just a sense like we're in the middle of a pop concert. Half a party, but it's a funeral. It's a memorial service.
This truly is what today is about. This moment really captured the joy.
You know, this is the funeral crashers is what this is. It is a party. These people are taking the occasion of Mandela's death. It's the Wellstone Memorial. They're taking the occasion of the death of Mandela, and they're using it in essentially discarding him to change and turn the focus all onto them. And if you doubt me, you heard it. First words out of Cristiano Amanpour's mouth. And President Obama couldn't be getting a better warm-up act. We're talking about a memorial service for a great man, in these people's minds, a great man who has just died and needs to be memorialized. And what is it? It's a warm-up act for Obama. And Raul Castro, the unwitting doob, was part of the warm-up act. It is, it's the wedding crashers, funeral crashers, it's the Wellstone Memorial all over it, but it's all about Barack Obama assuming the mantle of world leftist leadership. That is what it is. This is a second inauguration, if you will. Obama now the conscience of the world. The torch has been passed, whether Mandela knew it or not. The torch has been passed from Mandela to Obama. And the memorial service, in the words of the great international correspondent Cristiano Amanpour, a warm-up act for Obama.